What's going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with an Incursion Raid 2.2 best teams overall guide today, just because I haven't had a chance to really make the individual sections with the exception of the Mystic that I did with Bifrost on 2.1, but I figured in today's video give you guys a quick update on what teams have been working, how far we have been pushing, and hopefully this can give you guys some insight as well, how high you need to build up your characters and team levels to participate. So just as a quick update here, Incursion Raid 2.2, these are the new raids that have been added in the past week here, just to accelerate and increase that additional output of the Crimson gear. We have been pushing consistently all the way to the end of Bio, so it's been, you know, Mystic, Tech, Mutant, and then Bio, and most of us haven't started the skill section, but that's kind of been the goal. We're trying to aim for the 80%, so that way we can go to 2.3. Having said that, if you guys aren't able to get all the way to 80%, either in difficulty 1 or 2, I do believe that 60% is where you kind of want to be, because even with 2.2 for 60%, if you guys haven't checked out my value video on reviewing the Incursion 2 raids, I'll link that below, but you can see we're getting, you know, 17,000 fragments here of the Crimson Gear raid or fragments, and then as well as 1,700 of the Gear 19. Even if you switch over to 100% completion, you're only getting about 1,000 fragments more of the raid orbs, and then 100 fragments more of the Gear 19. So I mean, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, to be honest. You're really need to aim for that 100% only if I think honestly difficulty 3. I think if you're going to be hitting that consistently, then you at least getting a little bit more rewards, but that's kind of where we've been at, guys. But thankfully, there have been some great wins in this. I've been able to capitalize on some actually mid-max teams. I want to talk to you about that, but as well, also noticing now that we do need some higher level teams on certain synergies and sections. So that's what we also be going over. But that's what we should be aiming for, guys, to maximize the Crimson Gear. That way we're working and inching our way slowly towards Dark Dimension 7 for that ultimate unlock of Mephisto. So first and foremost, I want to start off by recapping my Bifrost team here, because what was really impressive enough is that, you know, there's been so much commentary about how this team works and you know, or doesn't work, and they seem to be kind of falling out. But I mean, to my surprise, this Bifrost team, with the exception of Val being a Gear Tier 18, everyone else is Gear Tier 14, and they've been able to get the job done here. So yeah, this has not been a section that's been hindering me, so it's really great to see that this team still holds value. If you're finding that you're having issues landing the abilities, what I did do is, as you can see on screen, I switched all their ISO Ace to Skirmisher, so it has been giving them a little bit of more of an added focus, and that has been making really a big difference here. So you can definitely save on the Bifrost if you want to, just because they don't really have that much value outside of this game mode, and they could be a scary ward team if you know, synergize them with other hero as Guardians, but I don't know if they're worth it, to be honest. Pegasus. Now this one was another surprising one too, because I wasn't expecting them to stay at these low levels to still perform well, but they were good. They were very, very good. I can actually clear all 3 nodes with this team as well, similar to Bifrost. If you guys haven't checked out my 2.1 video, I'll link it below, but it's close enough. Personally, guys, if it's close enough, I try to min-max my raid teams, because unless you want to sacrifice, you know, obviously the resources for time, you can sim it obviously, but at the end of the day, I am free to play, so I'm trying to conserve as much resources as I can as I'm ramping up here and building towards my progress. But this is how I've always kind of treated raids, right? It has the highest turnover in teams, hence my my situation here. Now, this is the team that has been getting it done. Obviously, Kestrel is the Val equivalent of the Bifrost team, right? You just want her built up as high as you can. She's going to hit so much damage. And same with Rescue. I think she has to be at least Gear Tier 16 or 17, because of the fact that you'll see that your allies are going to be falling a lot. If you have them at Gear Tier 14 like myself right now, they're going to be dying a lot in the raid battle combinations. And I do have a video coming very soon on this. But yeah, once they fall, Rescue gets energy, rinse and repeat. And obviously you can see here, they're not even maxed out at the ranks 7 yellow stars, so that's definitely made a big difference. Surprisingly enough, I haven't needed to shift over this team to a more of a skirmisher approach just yet, but I am noticing that some attacks don't land, and that could be very well the difference maker here of surviving those nodes, because those enemies can 1 to 2 shot your Pegasus team. Actually, if you don't know how to play it, this team may not even be enough, but because of my strategy and how long I've been playing Incursion 2 now, I just know the attack order by heart, so that's definitely made it easier. We just need to farm more of these character shards and get them higher up, because yeah, I notice how squishy they are, but it's crazy to see how these level 75 Gear Tier 14 characters are, they're still passing the test here for Incursion 2.2. So if you guys want to min-max materials, you could definitely do that like I am right now. This is what's getting me through all 3 nodes. But keep in mind too, this is a very good team outside of Rayge, guys. This is a team that you potentially can be building for all game modes. They're a really solid synergistic team, and I am trying to work on that. But I can only max out on spending 6 million per day as per the golden opportunity. So that's why my progression isn't as fast as I would like it to be. But that's okay. Now, what I did notice, guys, is since the 2.2 started, my goodness, the ramping up of the mutants and bio does ramp up quite a bit. You won't be able to min-max it the same way that you've done with both the Mystic and Tech sections. That's instantly what I noticed right away. So thankfully, the Extreme X-Men team is a very, very good team. It doesn't really matter if you don't want to build them up. I strongly recommend it. They're as good as as a Sinister Six team in the top 5 in the game right now. The Extreme X-Men is just great in all game modes, and there's even Dark Dimension value. Only catches that, as you see on screen here, we have Gambit and as well as Nightcrawler both sharing that osmium. So something to be mindful of here, right? They're really good. If you guys can bring up both these characters to gear tier 17 or 18 at least, it's going to make the nodes way, way easier just because of their synergy, the amount of damage they can inflict, and especially if you don't have high stars on Nightcrawler, it's really important to get him geared up, or at least higher levels. So hence why he's actually a higher level than Gambit, right? But they're both amazing characters. You can use them in Dark Dimension, and they're not expensive to bring up, which is nice, but at the same time, it does suck that they both share that same unique. So just something to be mindful of. I think the next most important character in this mix to bring up then is probably Forge. I have him at even gear tier 17, and he's still getting 2-shot, 3-shot in these nodes. So just something to be mindful of. We just need to build them up. But yeah, I think these 3 are definitely key. And then the rest here, we got Cyclops at gear tier 16, and we do have Sunspot at gear tier 16. I'm probably gonna bring them all up to 17, to be honest, just to make it easier, because I'm still seeing some pushback here in 2.2, and 2.3 is harder. So this team will likely go to gear tier 17. I've just noticed that the mutant section is definitely elevated, and I want to be leaning less on the RNG and more so on the skill. I know how to play the nodes, but at the end of the day, if it's RNG based, that means you need a stronger team, and that's what you may need to consider. So guys, last but not least, I've been testing out this team right now, and it's worked decent, but I still think that there's going to be some more investment needed. It's kind of similar to what we saw with the mutant section with the Extreme X-Men. Personally, I love the fact that Void Knight is gear tier 18 because he's so good in Arena. So that was a really, really good investment into him. He's been proving to be very effective, and he's crucial to these nodes to ensure that ability block crowd controlling aspect lands on the enemy bio nodes. Now, having said that, I also brought up my Gwenom because newer character, same with Red Goblin, but she's going to be the battery of the team, right? So that's definitely helped for sure. I plan on bringing Red Goblin to gear tier 17. I think it just makes sense, honestly. He's got the revive for the team. He provides a lot of support. And then I'm kind of just watching and waiting for both Carnage and Venom. They cost a lot of they cost a lot of bio gear, but the alien spores, if you have a lot of it too, that's going to be a good, meaningful opportunity to invest in them here. So that's kind of where they're at, guys. As you can see, all these characters being much higher, especially Mutant and Bio section being much higher than the Mystic and Tech section. So take advantage of those little wins that you can, but this is kind of the teams that have been working all the way for me into Bio. And yeah, like I said, I'm making the gameplay videos right now as I'm progressing through, so I'll make sure I'll have those up for you guys. But these are the team levels if you're interested in how high I have been building them. And remember, I'm free to play and have been pushing all the way to the end of Bio nodes, and well, that's a 40 million TCP. So just to give you a sense of reference here, it's not going to be a roster check. It's more so just making sure that you guys have the right characters and teams to participate. So hopefully this helps you guys out. That way gives you a bit of time to prepare and to anticipate. But yeah, we're going to be gunning for difficulty 2.3, 60% daily, but we have to get our way and work our way there by hitting the 80% on 2.2. Hope this helps you guys. I'll link out my videos below for the lower difficulties if you guys just need the overall gameplay or strategy guide, attack order. It's still relevant. It's just more so now the enemies we're up against are definitely much more difficult to take down. Thank you for your time as always. Let me know anything in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.